Hi everyone, I'm Rainy, and I thought it would be fun to start a video, maybe series. We'll just see how that goes, but I want to do a video to help new players who are very casual gamers feel comfortable playing World of Warcraft. But before we get into the video for our first episode, I really would like to share with you the cinematic that started my love for this game back in 2004 when this first came out, and we call it Classic WoW now. You can still play at this time now. You can actually play Classic WoW. But let's watch that first video, that first cinematic.
4 years have passed since the mortal races banded together and stood united against the might of the Burning Legion. Though Azeroth was saved, the tenuous pact between the Horde and the Alliance has all but evaporated. The drums of war thunder once again.
Now this is classic World of Warcraft. This is how it was when I first played this game, way back in 2004 when it first came out. And I created a Night Elf Hunter, much like the one on the screen. They didn't have a whole lot of choices as far as customization, and I just had this feeling of excitement. I'd never played a MMORPG before at all, ever. And I was about to enter a world where there was going to be so many other people playing this game, and it was exciting, but it was also a little bit intimidating back then. And it might be that way now for some of you watching. Maybe you've never played an MMORPG before, or maybe you've never played World of Warcraft and you're interested in starting a character. I don't want people who've never played a game like this before to feel intimidated by it. Thanks for joining me. I love having you here. In 2023, Dragonflight, this is what you're going to do. First, you're going to see that there's different realms that you can select. So you're going to pick your realm, and if you can pick one that's not super full, if you can play with your headset and have the music and everything the way you like it, so where you can hear it all, the music's just so good. If you're planning on playing and doing dungeons and raids and you want more players, you could pick one that's medium. I'm going to go ahead and pick one that's low as far as population. Now that we're on the character creation screen, you can see how much it's changed as compared to the one I showed you earlier, which was the classic WoW. And you can choose which faction you want to be, whether you want to be on the Alliance or the Horde. And there's all kinds of different races for either one. And then at the bottom, you have the classes. If you're like me and you love character creation, you'll probably want to spend some time on this and read through everything and just take your time to decide what you want to play. This is going to be me only focusing now on the Alliance side. I just don't have as much experience with the Horde side, so for this purpose of this video, I think it would make more sense for me to do Alliance. And you'll also notice that I have some different races unlocked. So you won't, your screen will look a little bit different than mine. Hover over, you can read about each one. Choose your race. I'm going to choose a Night Elf. And you can choose your body, body 1 or body 2. Decide which class you want to be, and I am going to pick a Hunter. It's my favorite class. You get to have pets. It's a lot of fun. We're going to go to the customization screen, and you can see they have all kinds of different options for customizing. Just know that you won't be stuck with what you create, because there is a barbershop that you can go to, and once you get to the city where the barbershop is, and you can change all of that. Oh, I don't remember having scars. So yeah, there's some new choices. Eye color. We have to come up with the name. So then you're going to get a choice of your starting zone. Exile's Reach is a newer starting zone, and I feel like it does a really good job of giving you a tutorial, taking you through how to play your class, and you will end up level 10 by the end of it. And it ends with a dungeon that you queue for, but it's with NPCs. So I really like Exile's Reach for that purpose. Shadowglen is really neat if you want to feel the nostalgia. If you've played before and you want to start in the original starting zone. If you want to go with the cinematic and where that starts off, it would be fun to do Shadowglen. So maybe I'll do Shadowglen with you for the purpose of this video.
After years of imprisonment within the Emerald Nightmare, Archdruid Malfurion Stormrage has finally returned to the mortal world. Reunited with his love, Tyrande Whisperwind, Malfurion endeavors now to heal the corrupted world tree Teldrassil and rejuvenate the spirit of the Night Elf people. Yet as the great cataclysm shakes the boughs of their colossal tree, the Night Elves brace themselves against the coming storm. As war and destruction close in from all sides, it falls to Night Elves like you to stand strong and protect the enduring legacy of your people.
We're about to take our first quest, so you'll notice that the NPCs will have an exclamation mark over their head. You'll accept the quest. You can read it, obviously, if you'd like to read it. I'm not going to read it for the purpose of this video, but if you look at your lower right corner of your screen, you're going to see some of the icons showing here, and some of them you're going to get later on as you level up, and it says that this feature is not yet available, so you'll know that it's coming. So if you look at the one that says character information, you click on that, that's going to bring up your character screen. You'll see what your character is wearing, and you can turn it. You can actually zoom in and out with your mouse wheel as well. You can hold the right side of the mouse down and move it if you want to like zoom in to, like, let's say your headpiece or something like that, and rotate around, because you might want to see your character in this frame as you get different items. The tabs across the top I think are for another video, because I don't want to get too complicated with it. but it would be, I think, wise to point out the attributes that you see here. All your characters that you make will have attributes, and right now you can see that I have agility, stamina, and armor. And I have enhancements right now, which is 11% crit strike. And I will put a link in the description to take you to a website called Icy Veins, and it gives you a lot of helpful information about your class, so that if you're interested in learning more about the different stats, I think that's a great resource. Anyway, after we accepted that quest, you could see that the quests are now showing on the right side of the screen here. And this first quest is called the Balance of Nature. All of your quests will be collected on that right side for you to view. But you can also hide it by clicking this little button right here. And whatever quest you have selected will show up as one that you will be able to track. You'll see that it's been filled in with a yellow number 1 right here on the map. It's the only quest we have right now, but if you get more than one quest at a time, they'll be numbered for you. And it tells you what to do here. We'll be getting a reward, some armor, some hands, and 200 experience and a little bit of gold. Close that out, and at the bottom of your screen you have spellbook and professions. The shortcut for that is P, as it states. And right now we only have one spell, but this is going to be helpful for you to just make sure you know where it is. You can scroll through the pages and you'll be getting different spells at different levels, so it will give you a chance to learn your class slowly over time. And there's also a general tab. You can read through the different general spells that you'll see. And this page shows the apprentice writing, journeyman, expert, and master, but we don't have a mount yet. We're only level 1. Yeah, so if you hover over it, it tells you a little bit more about it. So flying would be at 30, and then the fastest flying you'll get at 40. These tabs here are more geared for your talents and specialization. Once we hit level 10, we'll be choosing our specialization. There's a tab under here for professions. So if you hit the K, you'll bring up your professions, or you can just access it this way. We don't have any professions yet, but later down the road, you might want to do that. The next little area on the lower bottom right corner there is your specializations and talents, which we don't have yet. Next to that, you have achievements. The exclamation mark at the lower bottom is going to also be another way to access your quest log, or you can hit the L. You'll see your quests listed right here as you get more. Next to that, you'll have guild and communities, but we're not in a guild, so you don't need to worry about that right now. Eventually, the group finder will open up in case you ever want to do some group finding activities. The collections is next to that, and it opens up this window with tabs underneath that show your mounts, your pet journal, toy box, heirlooms, appearances. And we aren't going to get into any of that today, but it's just worth showing you. The adventure guide is the next area, but we haven't opened this feature yet, but that'll be a really good one to know about in the future. And then you can also access the shop. They've got mounts and pets and things you can actually buy for real money, or you can do other things like name changes, race changes. I'll let you explore that tab. And the last one here is the red question mark, and that will open up if you need to put a ticket in for support. The shop again is available there. You can also go to the options where you can check your interface, your action bars, all kinds of things. And if at some point you feel like you want to adjust anything in here, this is where you'll go. And there's a lot of information online if you want to do anything real fancy that you can look up as well. The only thing I really worry about when I'm first starting is under controls. If you go over here to auto loot, I do like to select auto loot because then it'll loot everything for me quickly. And I also like to show this action bar up on top here. because eventually I will be using that pretty quickly actually. And I also like to show the side action bar as well. I think that's all I'm going to do there for now. As far as the social tab goes, if you don't want to get guild invites just randomly popping up, you can block them. You might want to leave that open. This depends if you think you want to be in a guild. It's got some perks to it. I'm going to be playing solo and I'm going to block the guild invites for now just because I'm doing a video and I don't want it to interrupt our video today. I don't want this video to be too complicated. I just want to show you a little bit and kind of cover the basics. So let's go ahead and attempt our first quest. You can also see that you're going to see some little tips. A little tutorial pops up and tells you some things as you go. This is talking about tracking options have been simplified and many will appear conditionally when appropriate. So if you want to find a location, you can use this little tracking icon right here. And then this little mail icon shows that we have some mail that we'll have to get. So we'll do that. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. So we're going to run over here and I want you to notice, well, first of all, the music is beautiful in this game. So I hope if you see a yellow critter that has yellow written over it, those are not going to be aggressive. So you don't have to really worry too much about getting hurt in this very first zone. So get used to running around and using the WASD movement and the keyboard, especially if you're not used to playing games where you control your character this way. You can also scroll in and out and you can jump with the space bar, and every now and then she'll do a flip, which is always fun. And as we progress through the game and go into different zones, you'll notice that the critters are going to have different colored writing over them. If it's orange, they're more aggressive, and if it's red, they're going to be very aggressive. So just be aware of that. When you put your cursor over them, you can see what they are, but just be careful not to shoot at them until you're ready. Or if you hit your right mouse, you'll shoot at them. And that's just an auto shot. But we have a spell here called Steady Shot, so we're going to be using Steady Shot. You can use tab to target. It usually works, sometimes it doesn't. You can either hit the number or the letter that corresponds to the spell to get it to shoot, or you can use your mouse and hover and click it that way. I have mine key binded, so I have mine set to different keys on my keyboard, but I think that's a little more complicated for a basic video, so I would just go with whatever number yours is indicating. If you do want to learn about what key bindings I have, please leave a comment, let me know, and I'll be happy to share that with you. So we're going to shoot our steady shot at this young saber. And then you're just going to make sure you loot it. Just keep going and targeting the next one until you complete your quest. Slaying, we have to slay a total of 6. And if you look at your character icon right here, it has your name, it has your level on it, and there's a green bar that indicates your health, and the bar underneath for hunters is orange, and we use focus. Focus is something you'll use for some of your spells, so you'll want to kind of keep an eye on that. You'll learn more about that as you level up and get new spells. We can turn this quest in and we can... So you're just going to go to that question mark, click on him, and you can turn your quest in. And we leveled, so that's really fast. We're going to get the next quest to collect 6 fell moss from the Grelkin. And we also got an item and a new spell. So we have Arcane Shot, and the game will automatically place the spell into your action bar. But if you hold the shift down while you're left clicking on it, you can drag it and put it wherever you want. We're going to open up our bags by hitting B, and you can see that there's some little pop-up tutorials talking about it. You've gained 4 backpack slots for having an authenticator. So I have an authenticator on my account. If you don't have that, you won't get that message, but an authenticator is just one more layer of protection, so it's just a way to keep your account more secure. You can find out more about the authenticator on their main website. And then this one says click on this icon to review new filters and bag combining options. So if you want to click on that, you can see that you've got some different choices here. I'm just going to leave it alone for now, but we do have some new armor for our hands, so I'm going to right click on that with the mouse and it will put that on my character, and the old ones that I was wearing will go in that spot. If you click on your character information screen, you'll see that the new gloves are now there. So the equipment that you have also has different levels of quality. These are all written in white. You can see the title: Hunter's Boots, Hunter's Pants, Hunter's Belt. That's what we started with. And the white is just indicating that it's like the lowest quality, but we will eventually get green quality items, which are better, more common. Then you can also get blue quality items, which are rare, and you can get purple items, which are epic. So there's like a tier starting from lowest to highest. And then there's also legendary things, but those are very rare. And the higher quality, the better stats you'll have on it. The things that we're wearing right now are very basic, so they don't really have anything fancy. For example, these gloves that I'm pointing to in my bags only has 2 armor, so it's really low quality. But you gotta start somewhere, right? So now we're gonna head over to get our fell moss with this next quest. And you can see that whatever you target is gonna show up over here on this right side. So your character's frame is over here on the left, and the characters that you're targeting or whatever you target will show up right here. You can change that if you want to, but for now we're gonna leave it just because this is a basic video and I don't want it to be overwhelming. So we have to target these Grelkin. They're kind of highlighted. You can kind of see them kind of highlighted, so that helps you know what you're supposed to be aiming for. And you can also tell by reading the quest, of course. If you ever get lost, just read your quest, because it'll always tell you the information that you need to know. If you do get stuck on a quest, maybe you just really don't know what to do, you can look them up on YouTube as well. People do quest guides and tutorials for quests that might be trickier. But most of your quests are going to be pretty basic, and I think you'll find it relatively easy because of the map quest helper that's already built into the game now. It's just really simplified. So now we'll turn this one in. We're going to complete right now and pick up the next quest. And we also have another one. You can see from your mini map when you have like a quest or a turn in also that shows up. That helps. So we're going to pick up this next quest, and now we have to, or we're going to turn it in. We completed 25 quests, so we got like Traveler's Log progress that they're showing us here. The adventure guide is not available yet, but the Traveler's Log does have something to do with that. Probably won't get to that yet today. So we're going to accept our next quest and we'll head over. Now we're going to be getting the bags that were stolen. And I'm not reading the quests for this video, but if you enjoy taking your time and reading the quests, that's always something that you can do. I'm just trying to keep the video at a decent length so that it's not so long. So we've got these bags here. We're going to loot them. Okay, until we get 5. Again, it shows you if you hover over, you can see it tells you what to do. Okay, I'm just going to get 2 more and then I'll turn this in. Okay, we've gotten all of the bags that we need. So just to remind you that if you are selecting a quest, you'll see that it's filled in with yellow and it is on the map. when you have that quest selected, it's also going to show a gold arrow on your mini map right here, and you're the silver arrow. So if you point the tip of your arrow towards the gold arrow, you know that you're aiming yourself in the correct position to be tracking that quest and where you're turning it in, because now there's a question mark there. So that tells us it's ready to turn in, and it also says it's ready. So using the mini map in that way to track things is really, really helpful, especially when you have a lot of quests. Got a new spell. This one's Wing Clip. So you can hover over and read your spells to see what they do, and it's important that you do that so you really understand your spells and how your class is going to be played. Okay, we'll get that quest. Now our bags, we better check and see, is there any other armor that we can use? If you put your cursor over a piece of armor and you hit the shift key, so we are going to head over to turn in this quest we have. We're going to speak to Dentaria. Okay, we have to collect 7 moon petal lilies. Have to help cure our friend Ivran. He needs an antidote. So some of your quests will be collecting, you're just walking up to the object that you need to collect, and you can see it's kind of highlighted there. It's also up on the map again. You can hover over and see what you need to do and read the quest. It's always a good idea. And I'm just right clicking on the mouse to interact with it. And actually swim in the water this game as well. Okay, we have to seek out the dryad known as Tarandrala within the Shadow Thread Cave. Alright, now we're going to turn that one in. We leveled again, and we got another spell. This is Disengage. I'm just going to move this over a little bit, accept it, which is to kill the spiders. So see, these spiders are written in red, so they're aggressive. And if I walk too close to them, they're going to attack me, even if I don't shoot them. So I'm going to hit the tab to select my target and use my spells. And I start with Steady Shot. It causes 17 physical damage, and I can use it while I'm moving. And then I do Arcane Shot for now, which is a quick shot that causes 22 arcane damage. And then if they come really close to me and I feel like, you know, smacking them with Wing Clip, that will maim them and reduce their movement speed by 50%. So that's a good one to use against a melee or a critter that's right up on you. All right, so now we'll turn that in. We'll get a staff, but we're not really going to need it because we use a bow. And then we have to go kill that big spider. Let's move out of the way in case he spawns back again. And we'll turn this in. So we'll get to choose either a cloak or a belt. We already have a belt. It's only a level 1, but this new one's only going to be 1 extra armor, so either way, really. And we leveled again, and so since we leveled to 5, we got our pet spells, so I'll show you about how that works. Let's take this next quest, and then she teleports us out of there, which is really nice. So we've got Beast Lore. This is a really great hunter spell, and it will let you target an animal and you'll be able to see if you can tame it. For example, if I target this deer and I use Beast Lore, you can put your cursor over it and now it tells you it cannot be tamed. So that's a good one just to know, find out what animals you can tame. And this one is our taming pet spell. We're just going to move these out of the way. So this one revives the pet, so I'm going to put it there. And mend pet goes here. We used to have to feed our pet, but you can feed them to restore their health. It's a way to heal them. And you can dismiss your pet. I'm just going to put those over here for now and keep these two available. And then this one down here is call pet. I think I'll put that up here. Now you can actually open up your spell book and you can find your pet utility. You click on that, it shows you all these spells. So if you just want to put the pet utility on your bar, you don't have to pull them out individually. You could just keep it here and you can access it that way as well. It really is just up to you. So let's complete that quest. Get the next one. We have to fill a crystal vial at the moon well. So we'll head over that way. And now that we can tame a beast, we'll go ahead and do that. Let's get a pet. You can get one of these sabers. So you're just going to highlight the saber and go to the tame beast spell. You can either get it individually here, or if you open up the pet utility, you can use it from there as well. And you're just going to run up close enough to where you can see that there's a white dot on it, and you can tame the pet. And then once you've tamed it, it'll fight with you. And if you go to your character frame, underneath you'll see the cat there. So you can right click on that, right click your mouse. You've got all these options and we can name it. So we're going to click on rename, and don't click on abandon unless you want it to be gone forever. But you can always tame another one if you do. But we'll rename this one, and I'm going to name him after my Labrador Arrow. So we'll accept that. So now we have a pet. And we're going to continue. We have our quest highlighted, and you can see the gold arrow on our mini map and the area that's highlighted where we're going to fill up this file that we have with us. So we're going to hop into the water, and up on the area where your quest is located, up on the upper right, you see there's a bottle right next to it. You're just going to left click the mouse and it'll fill it up. And now we're ready to turn this one in. You can actually set your pet here to assist you, be on the defensive or be on the passive if you don't want your pet attacking. So that's just another way to control your pet. I usually have it on assist, but if you're in a group or in a dungeon or something where the pet could pull the aggro, you might want to, keep it on passive and control when it goes. But I'm not going to be doing dungeons in this video. This is just cozy casual, mostly solo play, so I usually keep it on assist. And your spells for your pets are also right here. And if you go to your spell book, you can now see, not only will you see professions, a profession tab, which we don't have any professions yet, but you'll see the pet tab. And these are all your pet's spells. So if you want to make your pet stay, you could pull this one down and put it down here as well. And as your pet levels and you level up, you'll get a few more spells that you can put onto the action bar down here. So we're going to head over and turn our quest in. And now we have to bring this up to the very top of Aldrassil, which is going to be over where this tree is. We're going to basically be running up the ramps, up the tree, to the very top. If you're interested in WoW, interested in World of Warcraft lore, there are a lot of videos that you can find on YouTube. Just type in World of Warcraft lore and you'll find all kinds of really interesting videos explaining the different lore. And there's a lot of lore. I think the Titans are interesting. I think the aspects, the dragon aspects, and I don't know, there's a lot of different characters, NPCs that have really great storylines as well. So we're gonna go ahead and turn this in, get the next quest. We have to bring the partially filled vessel to Dolinar, which is the next city, and he's given us a buff. You can see it at the top. We have 2 minutes of slow fall, which will help us to fall slowly, just like it says. All right, so we're gonna jump off of this cliff because we have slow fall, so we won't get hurt. And the pet aspect of this game is really fun. And if we specialize in beast mastery hunting, we will be able to tame some really interesting pets. But you don't choose your specialization until you hit level 10, which we won't be doing this video because this video is already long enough, and we're just going to be taking this road all the way to the next city. And anytime you see an exclamation mark over the characters, the NPC's heads, you can get a new quest. So this one will reward us with some food or mana. We don't use mana, so we'll probably want to pick the food, but let's just accept it for now. And again, when I first played this game, I did read all the quests because I thought it was interesting to immerse myself in like the roleplay aspect of it. But for the purpose of the video, I don't want it to be any longer than it's already going to be, so we're not going to be reading the quests today. But definitely I recommend that if this is your first time playing, just if you like reading the quests and reading all the text, it's just going to add some flavor to your game. And you'll see these little signs that kind of help you navigate the world a little bit. And as you discover new areas, your map will get exposed. So we're going to grab this quest. As more quests means more experience. But I think it's important to point out that right now we want to go get our mail because we have some unread mail from the WoW development team, which we should have opened up sooner because I believe there was a mailbox back in the other town and I forgot to do that. But you definitely want to do that, especially because right now it's the 19-year anniversary. And so there's some good stuff that you want to get. So we're going to go right to the mailbox. Oh, and if you aren't sure where a mailbox is, let me show you real quick. So this little icon tells us we have mail, and right above it, there's tracking. you can unclick anything that you don't want to see. And if we want to track the mailbox, just click on that. And then now you'll see the mailbox is showing up on the mini map so you can see where to go to get it. And then we're going to get our mail from the WoW development team, and it says, "Wow, yet another year has gone by for WoW. We wanted to thank you for continuing to play World of Warcraft with us. So here's an anniversary gift to go with your adventures. While wrapping this gift, we found a little friend who wanted to join you. Be careful with that one. We hope that you will join us for a celebration of the caverns in the caverns of time." So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to go ahead and delete the mail, and then hit B to open up your bags, and you're going to right click on the anniversary gift. And there's a quest you can get if you are interested in the timely invitation. I'll accept it right now, but I'm not going to get into that today. There's also fireworks that you can shoot off. So you just have to right click them in your bags, which are really pretty, colorful and glittery. And if you right click this celebration package icon right here, it says use increases all experience and reputation gains by 19% until the celebration ends. So that is a really, really good bonus to your experience and reputation since it's their 19th year. So definitely do that. And go ahead and get your flight path from this guy right here. And then we're going to take the quests, turn the quests in that we need to turn in, and pick up any new quests that we need to pick up. This is a turn in right here, and this is the Inkeeper. So we also need to set our Hearthstone, and I think we need to get the food because we don't use mana. We didn't choose a class that uses mana, although in Classic WoW, hunters did use mana. So now we can actually use his store. I want to browse your goods, and we can sell. There's a sell all junk in here. We're going to do that. And then any gear that we're not wearing anymore. So these are our old hands. We don't need those. But I did forget to put the cloak on, so I'm not going to sell that. And we can right click this sword to learn this sword's appearance, and that one too. So we're going to do that in a minute. And you can hold down the shift key to compare, but every time I do that, it messes with my sound. So I'm not going to do that right now. But this is a level 3 armor, and this is 4 armor. So we're definitely going to switch that out. And I think we have the best legs. Okay, so now we can sell this staff because we're not going to use it. We can sell our old gear. And then before we sell the weapons that we aren't going to be using, let's go ahead and right click them. Equipping this item will bind it to you, and that's fine because it says you haven't collected this appearance, and so if we right click it, we'll collect its appearance. We might want to use it in our transmog someday. So then we want to make sure you put your bow back on, but you can see over here on the left hand side it says fine scimitar, or whatever that word is, has been added to your appearance collection, and the sword has been added to your appearance collection. So that's important because eventually I will show you transmog and you'll be able to make your clothing look different. You'll be able to make outfits basically. And so when you learn new appearance collections, you'll be able to have more choices when you make outfits. So we're going to put the back armor on. Now we can sell these swords because as long as you right click and you use any item that says you have not collected this appearance, then you'll collect the appearance for it. But we don't need to use it because we're using a bow, so we're going to sell swords. And I think we need everything else for now. Actually, So this large venom sac is a crafting reagent, so we might want to hold on to that, maybe put that in the bank at some point. And fireworks in our food, quest item, and this will restore some health. So we'll keep the rest of it for now. You can pull your Hearthstone out and put it on an action bar if you want to. I do that usually, just makes it easier. And then this little button right here will clean up your bag, so you can click on that and everything will get more organized. And now we have several quests, so you can see that the one that's selected, if we open up our quest log, this one's yellow. If I click this one instead and make that one be yellow, that's the one that you'll see on your tracker. So whichever one you choose, whichever one you click on is going to be the one that you track on your mini map, just so you know. But you can see them now, and you can see that we have a couple of turn-ins, and then we have a numbered quest. So you can also see that we're in the inn right now, and my character's frame has Z's coming out of it because now I'm at a point where I'm resting. And whenever you log out, when you're leveling a character, it's a good idea to be in an inn where you're resting, because then the next time you log on, you'll have an increase to your experience. You'll be able to level up a little bit faster. But we also have this awesome anniversary buff too. So I think this is a good place for us to stop for today, because this video is already going to be a little bit lengthy. But before we do that, I just want to show you that you can also hover over the different NPCs and see that they sell different things, which you probably won't need to worry about buying any armor or anything right now. You're going to be getting armor with the quests you do, but you can sell to these people, and you can also repair at a weaponsmith. Right here, if you do need to repair your equipment, you'll see that it will show you a cost for that. We don't need to repair yet because our equipment's not worn out, but something to keep in mind. I think that's a good place to stop. When you're ready to log out, you're going to go to the red question mark, click on that, and you're going to click on log out. But again, just make sure that you're at a place where you see the little Z's coming off of your character's screen, and you'll also log out instantly. Hopefully I'm not leaving anything important out, but if you have any questions, feel free to leave comments or your questions in the comments. And if you'd like to continue this journey and have this be a series where I help you with the next phase of leveling and talk about the other things that are going to come up, let me know. I'm happy to do more videos like this. If you feel like this has been enough and can get you started, good luck on your adventures, and I hope you enjoyed the video. There's so much I can tell you. I just don't want it to be overwhelming. But just know this is just a tiny, tiny bit of the tip of the iceberg when it comes to World of Warcraft. But it doesn't have to be overwhelming. I'm living proof that pretty much anybody can find enjoyment from this game, and you can play it in a cozy way. So thanks so much for taking this little journey with me. I hope it's really been fun and helpful for you. I've had a great time. So to everyone who watches, likes, subscribes, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, and until next time, happy gaming.